This is John Hedengren. I'm going to highlight some of the split timing that we can do with AlphaCast. This is the AlpaPeak software, and what we're going to do is just identify the bib numbers for each of the athletes. And this is part of a growing club. It's difficult to manage the times and the performance of each of the athletes and give them the individual attention that they need. So trying out this software to be able to compute split times during a workout. It's going to be a threshold run for 10 minutes. And what we want to do is be able to calculate how many laps they complete in 10 minutes and also the times associated with that. So this timer starts, and when they disappear from the screen, that's when it starts their very first split. Okay, and then what we want to do is get that into split form, but we'll go to AlphaPeak.io, and if you go to AlphaCast, there's a little bit more information about this type of bib identification and how it identifies each runner. And then we want to turn that into split time. So this is that first interval, 10 minutes. Each one of those laps is about a quarter mile. And there you can see how many laps they completed. Here's bib number 170, Susan. And there you can see her split times for the laps. All right, if we come down here to Ian, I can see he also completed 7. His last lap was very fast, and then you can see others as well. Now you can see sometimes it misses the bib identification, so maybe it's going to be twice the split time. All right, and so we'll go back to the video now, and we'll just go ahead and play the rest of this video just so you can verify the actual split times if you'd like. Also, this video is for athletes as well. Just to be able to see their workout and how they did. So you can see the athletes are coming into view right now, and then it's going to pick up the very first athletes. Just does it by bib number, so just put the bib on the athlete. Doesn't use facial recognition. But you can see when they finish that lap, when they disappear from the screen, then it records that lap time. I will mention that if you are at a track and have an automatic timing system, it is better to use the automatic timing system to record the splits. So just like you finish a race and record when the athlete crosses the finish line, you could use that automatic timing system to also record lap splits, and several well-run meets do that. I'll show an example here from the BYU High School Invitational during the mile event, where the automatic timing system is set up to collect the finish times of each lap. And so as the pack comes around, the automatic timing system is activated. For each of the hip numbers that the athletes are wearing, those are identified, and the athlete time to 100th of a second is identified there. So you can also see the color coding. Ian Hunter's done a fantastic job with this. Shows who is in first, second, and third as the race progressed. And there you can see the split times as well as the overall time as well. So excellent work by Ian Hunter. If you have an automatic timing system, use that. But for things like workouts or other types of training, or let's say there's a meet that doesn't have an automatic timing system, or perhaps you don't have somebody to be able to record each of the laps, or let's say runners are getting lapped, for example, you could also use this type of system like in a gym on a track, and where somebody's, the GPS doesn't work inside, and so you could set up a system like this where it could record the total number of laps that somebody ran, their speed for each lap, using this computer vision method. So many different possibilities with this. It just needs a bib number. We could do facial recognition. We just chose, just with privacy and things like that, just to use the bib number. So those who do not have a bib are not identified and not tracked. Okay, we gave them a rest. Now we're starting a 5-minute interval. These are going to be shorter interval loops, a little bit longer than 200. You can see Sam go down there, pop back up. But you can see how it's able to identify most of the bibs. There's a little bit of misidentification there, but overall it does a fairly good job. Now again, here's the spreadsheet that it produced with the number of laps they completed and the times for each of those athletes. And just a quick visual inspection, just knowing some of the athletes, it looks fairly accurate. Okay, that's it for the workout. Great job, athletes, on completing such a tough 10-minute threshold run followed by a 5-minute threshold run. They're doing this in July, and they're going to be in great shape for the cross-country season. And we've got some split timing here on alphapeak.io. Go ahead and check it out. We'd love to hear your comments or suggestions on the technology.